Greetings, fellow truth seekers and skeptics. Welcome back to Crock or Not, the channel where we separate fact from fiction, the bizarre from the believable, and the downright bonkers from the, well, slightly less bonkers. Today's tale takes us to the quaint town of Auroraville, Wisconsin, where a murder mystery unfolded, leaving the community shaken and stirred like a good martini. But hold on to your tinfoil hats, folks, because this story has more twists and turns than a roller coaster designed by a conspiracy theorist. We've got shady characters, a hidden diary, and a private investigator who's sharper than a tack in a haystack. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's dive headfirst into the murky waters of the Auroraville tragedy. Will we uncover the truth, or will it remain as elusive as Bigfoot on a bad hair day? Only time and a lot of dramatic reenactments will tell. I'm Donovan Shakes, your guide through the weird and wonderful world of Crock or Not. Let's get cracking, shall we? Echoes of Deceit, the Auroraville Tragedy. In September 1991, a murder mystery unfolded in the rural town of Auroraville, Wisconsin, shaking the community. The victim, a prominent philanthropist named Evelyn Hartley, was discovered dead in her expansive estate under suspicious circumstances. The primary suspect was none other than her own brother, Daniel Hartley. The tragic discovery occurred when Daniel stumbled upon his sister's lifeless body in her study, with Evelyn lying face down in a pool of blood from a gunshot wound to the back of her head, execution style. The swift arrival of law enforcement raised eyebrows since Daniel had not alerted them to the incident, and the estate lacked nearby neighbors who could have heard any commotion. Daniel had always stood out as the unconventional member of the family due to his volatile nature and strained relationship with Evelyn that dated back to their childhood. Many locals harbored suspicions about his potential involvement in Evelyn's death given her apparent fear of him. With Daniel found at the scene on the fateful evening, the prosecution swiftly built a case against him supported by mounting evidence. Subsequently, on December 3, 1991, Daniel was arrested and detained under a substantial bond. Despite vehemently asserting his innocence, mounting incriminating evidence seemed to diminish his prospects for exoneration. However, an unexpected twist emerged in the narrative as revelations surrounding Evelyn Hartley's demise took an unforeseen turn. This transformative development stemmed from a sequence of events catalyzed by an unfamiliar figure entering the picture. On a rainy evening in Auroraville, Marcus Reed arrived as a hired private investigator engaged by Susan Balfour, Daniel's close confidant, to probe into Evelyn's death. Renowned for his sharp intellect and keen observational skills, Marcus delved into the case with precision that ultimately proved pivotal in unraveling its complexities. As Marcus delved further into his investigation, he unearthed concealed clues that altered his perception surrounding the events leading up to Evelyn's tragic end. Each revelation heightened suspicions that all was not as it appeared. A particular clue seized Marcus's attention, an obscure diary discovered within Evelyn's study. Its contents revealed her deep-seated animosity towards her brother Daniel for rejecting their family wealth in favor of a modest lifestyle fixing cars. Furthermore, Evelyn expressed dread over facing a prolonged and agonizing death after being diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. Evelyn faced a daunting reality with no known remedy and a rapid decline in her ability to care for herself, fearing an undignified fate. In her writings, she expressed dread at the prospect of succumbing to her circumstances, alone and unable to care for herself. She also harbored resentment towards her brother Daniel and the idea of him inheriting the family wealth. In a diary discovered by Marcus, a mysterious note containing a phone number and $25,000 caught his attention. Despite receiving no response upon calling the number, Marcus sensed its significance. As he delved deeper into the mystery, he unraveled a complex web of deception and betrayal surrounding Evelyn. It became evident to him that Evelyn's demise was not a homicide, but a tragic suicide designed to incriminate her brother. A pivotal moment arrived when Claire Bennett, an acquaintance of the Hartley family, approached Marcus with crucial information about a suspicious individual seen with Evelyn before her death. Despite Claire's efforts to alert the authorities, they dismissed her claims due to having a suspect in custody. Recalling their last encounter, Claire described how Evelyn reacted fearfully when confronted by an unfamiliar man at her kitchen window during their meeting. The man pressured Evelyn for additional payment for an undisclosed task while grinning menacingly at Claire through the window. Overhearing snippets of their conversation, Claire witnessed Evelyn agreeing reluctantly before insisting that he leave promptly. Following this unsettling incident, Evelyn confided in Claire about her diagnosis of Lou Gehrig's disease and expressed a preference for ending her life rather than enduring a prolonged period of debilitation. These revelations gradually pieced together the puzzle for Marcus. Fortunately, identifying the malevolent individual turned out to be straightforward as his criminal record facilitated swift recognition. His name was Trevor Gibbs. Marcus traced Trevor to his most recent known residence, a shabby and vacant apartment that appeared hastily abandoned. Within the deserted space, he stumbled upon a calendar pinpointing Evelyn's address on the day of her demise. Convinced that Daniel Hartley was not a murderer but rather a pawn in his sister's malicious scheme, Marcus speculated that Evelyn orchestrated her own death and framed her brother. Despite his certainty, tangible evidence eluded him, leaving him at a standstill when informing Susan of the dead end. As Daniel's impending trial approached, Susan sought to proactively identify the true culprit by distributing missing person posters around town, yet yielded no results. Meanwhile, Marcus tirelessly pursued leads on Trevor and received a significant breakthrough from an old acquaintance in Miami-Dade, Florida. Trevor had been apprehended for driving under the influence, then attempting to bribe officers with a substantial sum of money found in his vehicle. During Trevor's transportation to the police station, he casually divulged details of an elaborate plot orchestrated by an elderly woman to stage her own murder and incriminate her brother. This revelation became the critical breakthrough Marcus had been searching for, prompting him to connect with Officer Brown at Auroraville Police Station through his contacts in Miami-Dade. The community was shocked as the truth unraveled, exposing a web of family secrets and deceit culminating in tragedy. Ultimately, justice prevailed with authorities closing the case and exonerating Daniel of any wrongdoing. The disclosure of Evelyn's true intentions provided closure for Auroraville. Nevertheless, the lingering scars from this tumultuous chapter would endure. Upon concluding his mission and departing Auroraville, Marcus couldn't shake off the realization that some enigmas are best left unsolved. The saga of the Hartley siblings served as a cautionary narrative, illustrating how familial bonds can also fracture us profoundly. In Auroraville's serene ambience, the haunting legacy of a murder mystery turned tale of treachery would echo for years to come. Well, dear viewers, it's time to reveal the truth behind the Auroraville tragedy. Drum roll, please. I hate to break it to you, but you've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, and thoroughly duped. That's right. This story was as real as the Loch Ness Monster riding a rainbow in Times Square. It was all a crock, a big old bowl of baloney, a tall tale spun from the depths of my imagination. Remember, folks, not everything you hear is as it seems. So keep those critical thinking caps on, stay curious, and always question the crocks from the knots. I've been Donovan Shakes, your trusty guide through the land of make-believe and mischief. Until next time, stay skeptical, stay sassy, and stay tuned for more mind-bending tales on Crock or Not. The story presented in this video is a work of fiction created for entertainment purposes. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or real events is purely coincidental.